Nigeria was an independent nation in 1960 to date, approximately 64 years, there has never a place or time when we got even half of this UNESCO requirement. Sir, why will you punish Nigerians for the failure of their state?
If a managing director who holds an equally strategic position in a company within this country cannot be employed without a university degree or its equivalent.
I rise to speak against this bill for the amendment of the section of Constitution that require the minimum qualification for contest. Mr. Speaker, with no fear of contradiction, all of us here either graduate or its equivalent. Mr. Speaker, but that did not in any way automatically make us the best out of all Nigerians.
If a managing director who holds an equally strategic position in a company within this country cannot be employed without a university degree or its equivalent, why should the above political offices be held by people without a university degree or its equivalent? The lead debate on a bill for an act to alter the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended to change the educational qualification for election into certain political offices and for related matters. I take in no small measure this privilege granted me to present before these hallowed chambers a bill that I believe, if accented to, will, among other things, place more value on education in our nation and its importance when considering politics. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this is not a bill targeted at stifling the interest of Nigerians in politics. Rather, it is a bill that will help Nigerians to sufficiently prepare for the humongous task of political leadership. As we have begun to see, the race for elective offices at both state and national levels have become increasingly competitive. While this is good as a tenet of universal suffrage, it can also be counterproductive if people who are not sufficiently prepared educationally get into these elective offices. Honorable colleagues, all the political offices affected by this amendment are very strategic in their own right. The state legislators are important for making laws to govern the state in the interest of the people. The office of the governor is the highest political office in the state. The federal legislators are important for making laws in the interest of the nation. The office of the president is the highest political office in the land. If a managing director who holds an equally strategic position in a company within this country cannot be employed without a university degree or its equivalent, why should the above political offices be held by people without a university degree or its equivalent? Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we all know that after a university degree or its equivalent in this country comes the compulsory National Youth Service Corps, without which it would be difficult to get into any employment, especially within the public sector. Invariably, by leaving the qualification of these political offices to remain at school certificate level, we are implying that the NYSC is not a requirement to hold political offices, but it is a requirement to secure a job in the public sector.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Are you the Speaker? I met Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesowa Sawaru. I represent the good people of Oluyole Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm standing on Order 901, which states that a member shall not read his speech, save if he is moving a motion or presenting a bill. Mr. Speaker, I think this should be taken care of. So move.
Distinguished colleagues, wait. Distinguished colleagues, we are referring to our order Order 9, Rule 1. If you have it, open it and let's read it. Order 9, Rule 1. Read.
A member shall not read his speech, save if he is moving a motion or presenting a bill. A bill has been presented, we are leading a debate.
No. I didn't say he should comment. I say read it. Read it again.
A member shall not read his speech, save if he is moving a motion or presenting a bill.
All right. There is You have 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Honorable Comrade Bashir Usman Goro is my name. Member representing Goranyo Gadapero constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to speak against this bill for the amendment of the section of Constitution that require the minimum qualification for contest. Mr. Speaker, with no fear of contradiction, all of us here either graduate or its equivalent. Mr. Speaker, but that did not in any way automatically make us the best out of all Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, we have gone through the education system from primary school, secondary school, to university, and even beyond. Mr. Speaker, the education system of Nigeria was set under pre-assumption. If you were able to obtain primary school certificate and secondary school certificate, you are automatically obtained the requirement to speak and to write. As such, you can be lead and you can be lead for, you can represent and you can represent for. Mr. Speaker, for less privilege, we were privileged to go to the university. For less privileged people, it is not their wish that their children were not to be able to obtain university certificate or its equivalent. Mr. Speaker, if we are to blame the system, but we cannot do attempt to deprive the right of other Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, as you are sitting on the chair from your village, there is people that you have gone to secondary school together. You know very well, they are far better than you, but there was not the privilege to go to the university. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the sponsor of this bill have captured adequately in her submission that lawmakers at the federal government, at the Federal House of Representatives, as we are here, and the state lawmaker in the state assemblies, they should also have requirement of BSc or graduate or its equivalent. That's not the case. If we are talking on the lawmaking, then all of us must be an LB holder or its equivalent. Mr. Speaker, it has never the case being a graduate or not a graduate. Leadership was installed in individual. It has nothing to do with the level of education or requirement you have obtained. Mr. Speaker, on my interest that the House should uphold to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as 1999 amended, that the requirement minimally is either primary school, secondary school certificate or its equivalent. Mr. Speaker, that is adequately enough for everybody to contest a certificate.
Okay, thank you very much.
UNESCO's requirement in every country's budget should not be less than 25% content of that particular budget. 26. Since when Nigeria was an independent nation in 1960 to date, approximately 64 years, there has never a place or time when we got even half of this UNESCO requirement. Sir, why will you punish Nigerians for the failure of their state or for the failure of their country? If people are not educated today, who is going to be blamed? It's the country. Because even in the budget, we are not ready to promote education. 1. 2, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, democracy has been derived from the two ancient Greek city-state words, demos and kratia. Demos meaning people, kratia signifying rule of all by the people. This is where democracy derives its definition. Mr. Speaker, you are a lawyer, you know better than we do. Nigeria got our independence today is 64 years, and we had uninterrupted democracy for less than 25 years. Where are we rushing to? Today, if we do this policy, we are not disenfranchising ourselves. Mr. Speaker, I have been a master's degree holder 25 years back. I am not doing this because of myself. I am neither doing it because of my colleagues here. I am doing it because of Nigerians. I don't want them to be disenfranchised. In other words, the content of the Constitution of today.
I want to ask you the question I asked Honorable Madaki. The way you are adumbrating, the way you are making your presentation, do you think that if you didn't get the qualifications that you have access to the kind of information, confidence, courage, and analytical prowess that you usually apply on this floor when issues come up? Do they learn that through folktales in the village only?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I want us to understand one thing, test of knowledge. And it has been attested by everybody that qualification alone is not a true test of knowledge. Mr. Speaker, let me tell you, some members that contribute on this floor, some of them are not even graduates, and they contribute in such a way that anybody they are representing must acknowledge the fact that, yes, they are effective and efficient representatives. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, we are doing laws for good governance and peace of this country. Mr. Speaker, whether we like it or not, we are not going to make legislations that only favor few Nigerians. How many Nigerians are degree holders? Substantial number of Nigerians are less than degree holders. And now you are saying only a degree holder can be enfranchised. And we end up disenfranchising more than 90% of our population. Are we fair to our people? So the most important thing is we should understand that Nigeria still is an infant as far as democracy is concerned. America has been in democracy for more than 200 years, and today, with only 64 years, we are trying to compare ourselves with America. It's wrong. So I oppose, in conclusion, I oppose with all my heart, and with the voice of all the members, and with the voice of all Nigerians, that this bill should not pass.
I represent the good people of Ihimemba, no? Mobile Federal Constituency from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, we don't need to emphasize the fact that that part of Imo State is completely taken over by bandits. Now, to help us, in the body of the motion, it is stated here that they already had an APC carrier deployed to that the same mobile police formation that Ikenga is referring to, but that the equipment was moved back to Owerri.
That explains it.
So in specific, they had it.
Yeah, good. You can sit. You can sit.
So he's asking, let them bring it back.
Yes, I think it was because Ikenga was not given the opportunity to read the body of the motion. We would have taken that aspect. So this is just bring back what you took out, because when you brought it, there was more peace, more security. Now that you have taken it out, the situation has gone worse. So bring it back. It will help us. And I think that is straightforward. Any seconder to this motion?